It's Premier League predictions time. It's about to get controversial. Let's do this. Before we get into this video, I want to tell you guys about OneFootball. I only really promote brands I like and use myself, so listen up, it's worth it. OneFootball is a football app that has so many brilliant qualities. Firstly, live scores. You can keep up to date with all the scores around the world. You can also set some of your favourite teams so you get the specific notifications for your team. Secondly, you can watch match highlights from loads of different games around the world on the app, so you can see what the goals were like and see how the game was played. Thirdly, OneFootball have started showing live games on the app, so you can literally watch the live game on the OneFootball app. Please go use my link in the description and download OneFootball today. So before we get into my 2022-23 Premier League predictions, a couple things I need to say quickly first. If you enjoyed, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Second of all, comment down below your reaction to my predictions. It's only an opinion, guys. Don't get too upset, but I need you to comment down below. Either put your full table or say what you agree and disagree with my predictions. Another thing is, every year I run a fancy Premier League league. Come and join the league. I'll put the code here right now. Also, there'll be a link in the description for you to join. There's a prize for first place, so you want to get involved. And last thing to say, if you're new watching me, I'm a Chelsea fan, so just to let you know about my bias towards this table. But without further ado, let's get into my 2022-23 Premier League predictions. So as you can see, we've got ourselves a little chart here, which we're going to be filling in a little tier list. Let's do it. So we're going to be starting from 20th to 18th, and last place is going to be Bournemouth. I think the squad is good, but a lot of the players at Bournemouth fit into the category of too good for the Championship but not good enough for the Prem. Scott Parker's also been relegated before, so it's something that could really definitely happen again. I really hope Dom Solanke hits his potential and scores. If he does do well, they could stay up, but I don't think they'll do as well as people think, and they'll be going back down. In 19th, I think we've got Fulham. The boys who share West London with Chelsea, Fulham. I think they're in quite a similar situation with Bournemouth about their level of players. The only difference is they've got Mitrovic, who is a goal machine in the Championship. Can he deliver in the Premier League? That's the question. If he can, they might stay up, but I do not think he has the capabilities to smash it in the Premier League. Just my prediction. Moving on to the last relegation spot. Sadly, it's going to be Leeds. Might be a surprise, but I think it's their time to go down. I don't think Bamford is going to reach the level he was a couple of seasons ago. Also, they've sold their two best players by far in Phillips and Rafinha. That's going to be a massive loss. I just don't think they can do it for another season. I think they're going down. I think their time is up. Goodbye, Leeds. Moving into 17th, we've got Brentford. Yeah, they're going to escape the relegation this season, and I'm delighted for them. They're always clever with recruitment, which is fantastic. They've got some nifty little signings this season. Tony looks like he's staying. He's a great player. He's a good goal scorer, so that's going to be really helpful for them. They're also a very resilient team, and they've got a fantastic manager, so I think they could do the job just about. I think it's going to be between them and Leeds to see who stays up, but I think Brentford just have the cojones to stay up. Next up, a newly relegated side staying up, in my humble opinion, is Nottingham Forest. Now, I think people are getting a bit too overhyped about Forest, saying they're going to come 10th, 11th, they're going to be fantastic. Calm down with the nostalgia, calm down with the history. I think they're going to stay up, which is going to be good. What I think they're going to do is they're going to do what Brentford did last year. They're going to have that momentum. They're going to have the great atmosphere, the big club, and that's going to help them stay up and get that nice 16th spot. And they do have a fantastic, fantastic manager to go along with that. Hopefully, they can make some signings to make their team really, really good. But I think it will be a momentum-based drive to 16th for them. Next up at 15th, we have Southampton, the Saints. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was thinking maybe put them even closer to the relegation. I just think they're falling off a bit. I think the manager is a really, really odd one. Sometimes you look at him and you think, wow, you're a decent gaffer. But then sometimes you look at him and you go, what on earth are you doing getting thrashed 8 or 9-0? It's just bizarre. Looks like JWP is going to be staying at the club, so that's going to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's absolute unbelievable at free kicks. I'm probably going to the World Cup, in my opinion. So yeah, if they keep him, maybe they can have a chance of staying up. But it's just not looking good for them. Next up, we have the boys from London, Crystal Palace, the boys from Croydon. Should be an interesting one. Patrick Vieira did all right last season. I mean, he had to just basically change loads of things, and he stayed up and did all right. I think this season they'll get a bit further up and do well. If they get up to 14th this season, I think it'll be a fantastic season for them, so they can just keep going up and up the table. Next up, we have Aston Villa. Here we go, putting them in just above the Crystal Palace, if my computer will let me. There we go. yeah, Aston Villa, exactly the same situation to Palace with their kind of manager. Last season they had kind of like a developing season, invested a lot of money. I think all those players will come into better form this year, make them a better side, and hence put them up further into the table. I don't think they should be disappointed with 13th at all, but they'll probably want to be further, but I think 13th is very realistic. Right, next up in the mid-table, first up, we have got Everton. Very interesting indeed. Just like the two teams before, they've got an unbelievable midfielder from the Premier League managing them. And yeah, I think he's going to do better than Gerrard and Vieira. I'm a Chelsea fan, kind of got to say. But also, I think people are underrating Everton this season. I think they have an alright squad of some good players. No one amazing, but no one really bad. I think if Lamps can just really sort it out and find more of an identity in that Everton team, I think it could be good. And I think he could surprise some people. I mean, the Everton fans are mental, so they can really push their side through it. I hope he can do it, but also at the same time, I could see him sneaking towards that 15th, but I could also see him getting towards 12th and 11th. We'll have to wait and see. Next above them, we have Brighton and Hove Albion. I think this is just going to be another solid, consistent season. They have a decent squad. They have a really decent manager in Potter, and I think it's just going to go fairly well for them. I think 11th is just kind of like their standard now. I think what they'll do is they'll kind of go a bit down at the beginning, but then towards the middle and end of the season, they'll just burst up, keep getting those consistent wins. Yeah, just a great team and a great manager, great philosophy. Next up, we have Wolves, another prime example of a team exactly like Brighton. I think they're going to have a very similar season. They have a great squad full of great, decent, mid-table Premier League players. If their forwards can get the goals, they'll be thriving. They'll be having an absolutely fantastic time. If they can't, that's where they might struggle. They've got a strong defence, strong midfield, good goalkeeper, and the manager is decent. So I think this is a good prediction for them. Next up is going to be the Geordie boys, Newcastle. Why man? Yeah, I can't put them there. Let me just move them there. But yeah, Newcastle coming in at 9th. I think that'll be excellent for this season. I think people get carried away with this whole the takeover and everything like that. I think 9th is a perfect place for them to be this season. Then next season moving up towards the Champions League, Europa League. That'll be a great progression. I don't think they're going to go anywhere near that top 6. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I think 9th would be fantastic. Great manager, great set of players, great fans when they're winning sometimes. But yeah, whole squad isn't good enough for top 8 yet, so I'm going to give them a firm 9th, but I'm very excited to see how Newcastle perform this season. Last in the mid-table, we have Leicester FC in Leicester. I mean, not many signings. Lookman looks like he's going, and yeah, could be a bit of a disappointing one in terms of that, but I think they have a great manager in Rodgers. I still think they have a really nifty squad. Maybe need some more depth, but hopefully they'll sign some players before the season starts. And yeah, hopefully they can have a good one. I mean, yeah, I just don't think anywhere near the top 6 is achievable, but 8th would be a really nice, good season for them. Leicester and Newcastle could interchange, but yeah, I think they're both out of the top 8. Next up, we have West Ham going into the UEL, UCL kind of area at 7th. I think they're definitely going to stay into the top 8, which is going to be absolutely fantastic for them. I mean, they're keeping Declan Rice, which as a Chelsea fan is a bit sad. I think David Moyes is a fantastic manager. They got a good squad. One thing I would say, they need a striker. They need to get a striker. Maybe they get Broha off us, even though I don't want to sell him. They need something because Antonio is not good enough to last a full season to rely on. I genuinely don't believe so. I think he's actually quite average in my opinion. At 6, we have Manchester United. I mean, I can't see them going any higher than this. I think Ten Hag needs a season to kind of get things in order, get the players going, get those issues sorted, get the toxicity out the dressing room, all that stuff. And the 5 teams above them, I can't see them being better at or improving more than. I think they'll have a great season. I think their front 3 are going to be unbelievable, and Rashford, Sancho and Martial I think is going to have a great comeback season. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch how they progress, if they make any last minute signings. It's all going to be interesting for Man United. Will Ronaldo stay? That's the question. But yeah, I think 6th is just very, very accurate, because they're definitely not worse than 6th, but they're definitely not better than any of the top 5. Next is 5th. Arsenal. I think they're just going to get 5th. They're just going to miss out on top 4 once again. They've had a fantastic pre-season. They've made some fantastic signings. Sadly, potentially Partey might not be part of their season next season. Don't know. There's a lot of allegations at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. That could be a big miss for them in terms of footballing. And yeah, I think they're going to get far in the Europa League, so that will affect their top 4 race a little bit. So I've just put them down to 5th. But yeah, I think they're making a really good project with Arteta. And yeah, I've just got to, annoyingly, take my hat off to them. 4th place, and I've put Spurs. I mean, I've seen some ridiculous things on social media. I've seen people putting them 2nd, maybe even to win the Premier League. I think people need to calm down. I think you need to realise it is Tottenham. They bottle things. They've made 6 signings. Yes, that's a lot of good early signings. Are any of them unbelievable? Maybe not. I mean, they'll work for Conte. They'll do the job. But yeah, I mean, it takes an injury to Kane or Son, and they're looking a bit ropey, I think. So just, you need to be careful with that. The depth isn't sensational, especially in that attacking department. Need to watch out for that. I think they're going to be fantastic. I think they will get top 4 because of the quality, and Antonio Conte is unbelievable manager. But yeah, do always remember they are Spurs and they can bottle it. Third, my team, Chelsea. Yep, I'm going to say they're going to come third. I wish I could say they're coming second or first, but I just can't see them bridging the gap completely to City and Liverpool. But yeah, I'm going to give us third. I think we've got a fantastic manager. We've got fantastic signings in Koulibaly and Sterling. We will be signing some centre-backs before the end of this, before the beginning season. If we don't, then we're coming 4th or 5th, but I'm very, very strongly assuming we are signing centre-backs. I think it should be very interesting. Should be great seeing your boy Havertz play 9 for a lot of the season. I think him and Sterling could join amazingly with Mount just behind them. It's going to be really interesting to see how well these players like Sterling flourish. I'm excited. I think it should be an interesting season, but I definitely don't think we'll be anything above third. Second place, sadly, got to give it to Liverpool. I mean, City just cannot get pits, but Liverpool, great team, fantastic manager, looking good all around. They've got a brand new striker who's going to take a bit of warm-up time, but I think he's going to be unbelievable. And yeah, I think they're going to be really hungry for the Prem, but they're just not as good as the team in first place, which is Manchester City. Keeping it short and sweet, they're an unbelievable team who have won the league a couple of times without a striker. They've now got one of the best, most promising strikers in the world on their team as well. They're going to be unbelievable. Jack Grealish is going to go off this season. I guarantee you that. He's going to be one of the best players in the league. Maybe even look to win PFA Player of the Year. Who knows? He's going to be unbelievable. And yeah, do I need to say more? Easy winners of the Premier League for me. Comment your predictions, drop a like, subscribe down below if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Peace.